Alright, hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today guys, I'm showing you how to download VMware Workstation Pro on your Windows 11 or Windows 10 machine. Works for both, and I'll be showing you also how to set up Kali Linux on it. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, you're going to have to head over to support.broadcom.com because this is where the VMware Workstation applications lie, because Broadcom actually did buy VMware and a bunch of other programs owned by the company, so you won't find it on VMware's original website. But I'll put a link in the description down below, this direct download link, if you want to go ahead and use it. Alright, I'll just put it over here if you want to go ahead and download that directly. And then, while this is downloading, I'll show you also how to get your Kali Linux ISO file that we are going to set up from. It's going to be this file over here, so I'm going to click download that, and I'll also go ahead and put that on my desktop. Right? Yes, so now once you've got your VMware installer downloaded for the website, I'll go ahead and I'll launch it, and I'll show you how to do this real quickly. So just give it a couple seconds and you should see a prompt open up here. Guys, after waiting a couple of seconds, as you can see, we should get this prompt. Go ahead and click on next, click on accept the terms, click on next. Now, yeah, make sure you have that selected, and this is going to be installing it to the main path. If you want to install it somewhere else, that's up to you. Click on next. Now, this is basically just VMware saying of, hey, we're going to collect some information so that we can increase bug reporting. This is completely up to you, but I'm not going to choose it, and you should have this enabled just in case. Now, you should have this enabled because you know sometimes virtual machines run into issues and some small software updates can fix the issue. So go ahead and click on next. Click on next, add those to the desktop, and it's a start menu. Yep, it's up to you. Click on next again, click on install, and give it a couple bit of seconds. Alright guys, so give it some time and it's going to be done. You can just go ahead and click on finish. I know it looks a bit weird, you can't really do anything with that. Just click on finish over here, and we should be able to launch VMware Workstation Pro right now, or it could launch automatically, I'm not sure. But let's just go ahead over here and launch it normally, I think. Yeah, just give it a minute, and there it is. So just go ahead and use for personal use, click on finish, and there you go. Now the next step is to go ahead and create our virtual machine. Now, make sure that you have your Kali Linux ISO file ready, and matter of fact, I do, so let me show you how to do this now. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and make up this virtual machine. So, you can either go ahead and click on here, or simply head over to File, and then select Create a New Virtual Machine. So, you'll get up this small prompt, choose Typical or the Recommended, click on Next, choose your ISO file, locate where it is, head over to Browse and select it, and then click on next. Make sure to choose Linux and choose this option. It'll be over here. Just make sure to choose that option, because Linux, Kali Linux itself, isn't an official version, an official distro that's known for Linux in VMware. It might be known in other hypervisors, but I think that VMware it's not known. So here's what you want to name it. Store it wherever you're like. And as you can see, this default location can be changed in preferences. So click on next. And well, it says it's 8 gigabytes, but you should allocate at least 25 or 20. That's like the regular recommended. You could choose that option, but this one will reduce some of your performance. Go to store and click on finish. Alright, now there is one thing that you'd have to modify on your own, and that's the amount of RAM. So you'll go ahead and, well, if you have a decent amount of RAM, like 8 or 12, you can give it around like 4 gigabytes. But if you have less, then give it like 2 or something like that. And for the networking, you could choose NAT. Alright, so let's go ahead, click on OK, and let's go ahead and boot into this virtual machine. So click on OK. And also that message that appeared in the first, it's just some specification only with Windows machines. Right, sorry, it's a bit loud, but as you can see over here, VMware tools, we will download these later. I'll show you how to do it later, but make sure to select the virtual machine in the screen, click on it in the screen, or do Control-Alt to exit out of it. So go ahead and choose the graphical install. You can move around with your arrow up and down. So hit enter and choose graphical install. Now, like I said, if you're stuck in the virtual machine, you can do Control plus Alt to exit, and you'll be back to your normal screen. Click on it, and you'll be back into the scope of the virtual machine. Now, there are a lot of preferences that you can modify for performance and whatnot, but if you guys want anything about that, you can just ask me in the comments section, or I'll leave some notes in the description. So, make sure to choose your language, it's up to you. The country, the location is also up to you. And the keyboard language. Now, the cool thing about Kali Linux is that it's very user-friendly when you're installing it, so you might not even need my help for a lot of things. But it might be quite different for like partitioning if you're going to be setting it up on your actual machine, which would be a bit different. So give it a little bit and it'll be ready over here with some other configuration things. Alright guys, so give it some time and you will reach the screen. You can just leave this on default Kali. This is basically how your have somebody, for example, is scanning your network. He's going to find a host name of Kali for some device. You can just leave this on default. Leave the domain name empty. And I'm going to just write in a password username over here. Right? Click on next. Write in a password. Right? Click on enter. Give it a little bit. It's going to do some stuff over here. You can choose the clock to whatever you want. I'm just leave it over here, Eastern. Click on continue, and now comes the part for the disks. As you can see, it keeps prompting me about VMware tools, like I said over here, but we'll do those once we're on the machine. Because like I said guys, the cool thing about VMware Workstation is that you can modify a bunch of things to get like so much performance. Okay, so just go ahead and click on guided use entire disk, and this will be the virtual disk that you have made with the size. Click on continue, and all files in one partition. To be honest, that'll be much better. You can separate them, but since you're new, I really also would recommend this as VMware does. So go ahead and click on continue, and click on finish partitioning, and write changes to disk. Write changes to disk, yes. Click on continue once again, and we should have one last step, and it will unpack a bunch of things from the ISO file so the system can boot up. So give it a little bit. Alright guys, so after it's done with the select and install software part, you're gonna go ahead and choose your desktop environment. Now your desktop environment is just how your GUI looks, sort of, because if you're new to using Linux, you still wouldn't know exactly what a desktop environment is, but for now you can just simply use XFCE, the default one, and go ahead and click on continue. Oh, and these over here, these are just the default recommended tools that Kali Linux use, because well, if you're downloading Kali Linux in VM, well, you're using it for security mostly. So go ahead and click on continue, and then it should be patching up and it will be ready to go. All you're gonna have to do after it's done with this part is simply just go ahead and click on enter, just tap on continue, and you will reboot into Kali Linux. So just give it a couple of minutes. Alright guys, here we are finally. Now we are in the last step. You can just go ahead and press continue to reboot, and you successfully will have installed Kali Linux. You'll go ahead and you will boot into Kali Linux, and yeah, as you can see, we can move up with the down arrow keys. Go ahead and select the first option, Kali GNU Linux. Tap enter, and well, we will boot into Kali Linux. And like I said guys, there are many performance things that you can enable, some tweaks with the virtualization, which I advise that you should not mess with any setting other than the ones that I've changed when installing Kali Linux, unless you know what you're doing. So again, I repeat, if you do not know what you're doing, do not, because that might cause some issues with the virtual machine itself. Might become unbootable, you know, for example, changing the BIOS, making it UEFI, that'll not make it boot. You know, just some things. Just don't change the things other than the ones that I changed. Alright, so also you can go into full screen if you want over here, but we're just gonna stay like this. We're gonna do this from my emulator. Write in our username and write in our password. Let's hit enter and let us log in. Now you might notice that my virtual machine is quite funky, and by that I mean that it will be a bit slow. not because of the recording or because of my system, is because some performance issues, like I told you. So I will show you one thing used for performance. So let me just open up Kali, show you some of the awesome nice things. As you can see, all of the tools are here for Kali Linux. Open up your terminal, zoom in. As you can see, all of the commands are working. Bash, ZSH, everything is working on here fully nicely. Now, the one thing that I'd like to show you are some things, especially for who is using this virtual machine on Windows. Alright, so I'm going to show you that real quickly. Alright guys, so like I said, I'll show you some things that you can use to make your usage of this virtual machine better in the performance. So, first thing you want to do is accelerate 3D graphics, because this will make the GPU be used more better, and you want to also give more VRAM to this thing. That's the recommended. So, not a lot here. You can show all USB input devices to know what's going on. You can also disable this. As you can see, some performance degradation, and this is the highest one that uses a lot of performance for Hyper-V enabled hosts, basically for Windows hosts, just like you. So yeah, also make sure to update manually over here. Actually, no, make it update automatically and choose synchronize guest time with host. So if you have any updates on VM, it'll go ahead and update the virtual machine. Now you can just well, there is one thing, guys. You could enable this, but you shouldn't enable this because it might cause some issues. And for any other thing, no, you should be good to go. Also, once you boot into the virtual machine, you should click on here and look for an option. There it is, install VMware tools. Make sure to install it, and you'll get that small prompt that appears in the bottom of the screen. Click on it. Make sure to download VMware tools for more performance and for the best usage possible. Don't worry, it won't break anything. It'll actually make it run very smoothly and very nicely. And obviously, you can go over here, and if you're still having some performance issues, lower the RAM. You know, if you're not using maybe an NVMe or an SSD, you might have some speed issue, all of that. But just make sure to just like configure things in the region that you know, so you don't break the VM. And well, that's what I have for all of you today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure to make sure to drop a like. I don't know what that. Make sure to drop a like and like the video. Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.